Well, welcome back. It is now my great pleasure to introduce Virginia Military Institute's 14th Superintendent, General Benford P. III.
Well, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and welcome to the Virginia Military Institute for this, as you know, the 30th Annual Environment Virginia Symposium. We're very proud to be the host of this annual conference, along with our co-host, Virginia Department of Environmental Quality, Virginia Department of Conservation and Recreation, the Virginia Department of Forestry, and the Virginia Environmental Endowment. Earlier this morning, you saw a video celebrating the 30th anniversary of this conference, and Colonel Gray recognized several organizations that have had long connections to this conference. As you know, Captain Urchel envisioned a conference characterized by a very strong sense of community. And we have followed his vision closely by working closely each year with a program advisory committee of government, nonprofit, industry, environmental professionals who work with us to organize this conference. This year's Program Advisory Committee members' names are listed in your program, and would I ask that the committee members please stand and be recognized and receive our applause. We're very grateful for your guidance and support. And on behalf of the faculty and staff and cadets at VMI, I extend to all of you a very warm welcome, and I hope that you have a stimulating conference, that you enjoy your time at VMI and in historic Lexington. It now gives me great pleasure to welcome the 73rd Governor of Virginia. We welcome Governor Northam once again back to this conference and VMI. As an alumnus of the VMI class of 1981, he has been a great supporter of the Institute over the years and the environment. Originally from Onondaga on the eastern shore of Virginia, he earned a Bachelor of Science degree in biology. He attended Eastern Virginia Medical School for his MD, and as part of his residency requirement, he served at Walter Reed Army Medical Center and also served as Chief Neurological Resident at Johns Hopkins. From 1984 to 1982, he served in the United States Army as a physician, attaining the rank of Major, and during Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm, he treated critically wounded evacuated casualties at Landstuhl Regional Medical Center in Germany. He and his wife Pamela settled in Hampton Roads, where he practiced pediatric neurology at the Children's Hospital of the King's Daughters in Norfolk, and he also spent 18 years caring for terminally ill children at the Edmark Hospice for Children in Portsmouth. As a fiscal conservative, Dr. Northam was first elected to office in 2007, winning Virginia's 6th Senate district seat, and was re-elected in 2011. In 2013, he won election for lieutenant governor, and as you know, the rest, as they say, is history. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our governor, Governor Northam.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Please be seated. Well, good morning, and thank you, General P., for the kind introduction, and it is truly an honor to be at the Environment Virginia Symposium as your governor. As General P. said, I spoke here last year, and it was a tremendous honor, and I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank all of you for participating and being advocates for our environment here in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and as we always say, it takes a village, and I appreciate you all being part of that village. General P., it is an honor to be back at the Institute. As he said, I graduated in 1981 as a biology major, and when you come back to VMI, there's always a sense of pride, and you look around and you say, well, VMI is VMI. It looks about the same, but I'll tell you, if you look closely, there are some just wonderful things and progress that has been made here at VMI. And General P., I wanted to thank you personally for your leadership. Thank you for hosting this conference. And one of the things that I am really encouraged by are the academic programs here at VMI. People ask me all the time what my main objective is as your governor, and it is really to have a strong economy. I want to make sure that all Virginians have a job that they can support themselves and their families with, and that means that we need to be able to train our youth. We need to train them as they do here at VMI as citizen soldiers so that they will be able to enter the 21st century workforce. And they're doing a great job here at VMI. And again, I thank General P for his leadership. And I really thank all of our educational institutions across Virginia. We are blessed in Virginia to have just wonderful colleges and universities. I also want to take this opportunity to thank and recognize our Secretary of Natural Resources, Matt Strickler. Matt was actually born, interestingly, on the day that I graduated here at VMI, May the 16th, 1981. And he grew up here in Lexington. He had an option, a decision to make when he went to college. There's another college just next door. But, you know, I've gotten past that. He also, I know it's not football season, but he's a Cowboys fan, and I'm working on that. But anyway, Secretary Strickler, I thank you for your service to the Commonwealth of Virginia. We have a cabinet, our secretaries, that are second to none, I promise you, and they are all doing just excellent work for the Commonwealth of Virginia. And this is, as I said earlier, it's a team effort, and I applaud him. I also see here Clyde Crispin. Clyde, thank you, the Department of Recreation and Conservation. Thank you for your leadership. We just made an announcement last week that we're going to be opening up our 40th state park. And Clyde has been instrumental in that. So Clyde, thank you. And I see David Paler is with us. David, thank you for your leadership with the Department of Quality, DEQ. So thank you for that. I think that's all the thank yous that I have for right now. But I just wanted to let you know that protection of our environment and natural resources, particularly the Chesapeake Bay, is one of the main reasons that I decided to run for the state senate in 2007, and it remains a top priority for me as your governor. Over the past year, we as a team have made a lot of progress in protecting our natural resources and environment across the state. Last July, Virginia and our partner Chesapeake Bay watershed states, as well as the Chesapeake Bay Commission and the Environmental Protection Agency, announced the adoption of pollution reduction goals for the Chesapeake Bay cleanup effort. That unprecedented agreement shows us that the Bay Partnership is stronger than ever. It also shows us that we have work to do if we plan to meet our commitment to a restored bay by 2025. Fortunately, thanks to the hard work of state agencies and stakeholders, we have a plan that will achieve our pollution reduction goals in that time frame. We will release the draft cleanup plan, the Phase 3 watershed implementation plan, next week. I encourage you to read it and give us your thoughts on how we can best achieve our shared goal of a restored Chesapeake Bay. Meeting our goals will require a significant commitment of funds. That's why I propose the largest clean water investment in Virginia's history last December. While I am disappointed that the General Assembly chose not to fund my full proposal, we will have $73 million deposit to the Water Quality Improvement Fund, along with $10 million for the Stormwater Local Assistance Fund. My administration will continue to prioritize funding for restoration of the Chesapeake Bay and our rivers and streams. During this year's General Assembly session, we made progress on addressing another threat to water quality, the unlined coal ash ponds at 4 power plants in the Chesapeake Bay watershed. My administration negotiated with the General Assembly to require the clean closure of these ponds, and I was pleased to sign that legislation into law earlier this month. In addition to prohibiting so-called cap-in-place closure, the new law requires at least 25% of the ash to be recycled into an encapsulated beneficial use. I continue to oppose offshore drilling off of Virginia's coast. With all the work we are doing to protect our water quality and our coastline, we simply cannot afford to risk an oil spill. Adversely affected will be NASA Wallops, U.S. Navy offshore training, the aquaculture industry, the growing of clams and oysters, which, by the way, is about a $50 million industry on the eastern coast of Virginia, and tourism. Expanded offshore drilling will also make it harder for us to improve the quality of air we breathe and to fight global warming. With the federal government already rolling back air quality standards and the Clean Power Plan, that's the last thing that we need. Fortunately, the Commonwealth is doing its part to reduce carbon pollution. The Department of Environmental Quality has been working for more than a year on new regulations to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from large power plants in Virginia. The Air Board will vote on those regulations at its April meeting. If approved, that will make Virginia the first southern state to regulate climate pollution from power plants. We also plan to achieve a 30% reduction in carbon pollution over the next decade by joining the market-based Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative. Earlier this month, I vetoed legislation passed by the General Assembly that would restrict the Commonwealth's ability to reduce carbon emissions from cars and power plants, as well as our ability to join regional, multi-state collaborative like RGGI, or the Transportation Climate Initiative. I vetoed those bills because climate change is affecting Virginians now, and we need all the tools at our disposal to address these challenges and protect Virginians. For example, communities along our coast and rivers are seeing increased flooding, an increase in hurricanes and other extreme weather events, and coastlines that are migrating inland. We're already working to address these impacts. Last year, I signed Executive Order 24, which will serve as a roadmap to make Virginia's environment more resilient to floods, hurricanes, fires, and other extreme weather events. The centerpiece of the order calls for the creation of a Virginia Coastal Resilience Master Plan to protect our coastal areas from sea level rise, recurrent flooding, and extreme weather. We also want to make sure Virginians are preparing themselves. This month, Virginia held its first annual Flood Awareness Week to encourage Virginians to learn about the dangers of flooding and how to protect their families, businesses, and communities by getting flood insurance. Flooding is the most common and costly natural disaster in the United States, yet most Virginians are not aware of their risk or prepared for the devastating impacts a flood could have. Recent record-breaking rains remind us how unpredictable and destructive flooding can be. There are also a number of steps the Commonwealth can take to ensure valuable natural resources. That is why my administration will be unveiling a new and groundbreaking approach to land conservation, an approach we call Conserve Virginia. Conserve Virginia represents a new, data-driven approach to land conservation. Last spring, I said we would prioritize the most important lands, target our limited resources toward those areas, and measure our conservation progress. Conserve Virginia will help us do that through a smart map that identifies approximately 6.3 million acres of land that have exceptional qualities. This is not a goal for how much land we plan to conserve during my term. It is a menu featuring the lands Virginia should prioritize for conservation when we have the opportunity. This tool will help ensure that we are using limited resources wisely and conserving the best of the best for the benefit of all Virginians. Importantly, this includes a large amount of agricultural land, working forest, and public access points that will help grow our economy through sustainable resource use and development. It is also important to ensure sound management of the lands that lie beneath Virginia's waters. I am proud that my administration has worked with stakeholders to resolve pressing user conflicts along our shores, while also expanding our shellfish industry. We also continue to work to create new outdoor recreation opportunities in the Commonwealth. Last year, we opened a new state park along the Potomac River and just recently broke ground on what will likely be our 40th state park in Gloucester County along the York. In ensuring that our programs and initiatives work for all Virginians is my top priorities. That is why I recently signed an executive order to reestablish the Advisory Council on Environmental Justice. We are seeking ways to ensure transparent engagement in decision-making and to better incorporate environmental justice concerns as we shape policy. The environment belongs to all of us. It is our birthright as Virginians and Americans, no matter the color of our skin or the size of our pocketbooks. We will continue to work to ensure that our environmental policy ensures equal opportunity and protection for all Virginians. We are working to include this important initiative in much of our work. Environmental justice runs through transportation issues, how we improve the resilience of the Commonwealth, reducing air emissions, and protecting public health, and more. We work to protect the environment because it benefits everyone. A healthy environment means healthier people. Greater biodiversity translates to greater recreational opportunities. And environmental protection can benefit Virginia's economy, whether it's from ecotourism, robust commercial fisheries, or renewable energy. We have a lot of work to do and many challenges to overcome, but I'm optimistic about what we can do together for one reason: the people in this room and across our Commonwealth who are committed to leaving the places we live in better shape than we found them. I thank you for being here today, and I look forward to celebrating many more pro-environment, pro-Virginia accomplishments throughout my term. Thank you all so much, and have a great conference. Thank you.
Well, Governor Northam, thank you so much for your show of support at this conference here today and your remarks. On behalf of the superintendent, the faculty and staff, and the Corps of Cadets, I'd like to give you this gift as a token of our appreciation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and appreciate all you all do. Thank you.